Hello, everyone. Welcome to my channel. If you are a scientist or a laboratory technologist, you know how important data is to your work. In this tutorial series, I'm going to show you how to use Microsoft Excel to analyze and manage your lab data efficiently. Whether you are dealing with large data sets, calculating averages, creating graphs for presentations, or even performing statistical analysis, Excel is an essential tool that will make your work so much easier. Let's dive into the Excel interface and learn some powerful techniques you can apply today. I'll give you an overview of the Excel interface. All right, so let's familiarize ourselves with the Excel interface. That way, it'll be easy to locate tools and commands when we need them to use. Okay. All right. So when you open Excel, you'll see something like what is appearing on your screen right now. That is what you will see. This page has different parts. At the top, we have the ribbon, and then at the top, we have the ribbon. Above the ribbon, we have the quick access toolbar here. So we have the ribbon here. We have the quick access toolbar here, and then we have the formula bar down below the ribbon, and then we have the status bar. That is the last part of the Excel workbook on your page shown by the arrow. Then we have these tabs here. These are the worksheet tabs. So now let's take them one after the other and talk about each one of them. Let's start with the ribbon. The ribbon is where most of the Excel tools and commands are located. It is divided into tabs. Okay, so the tabs that we have on the ribbon are the file, home, set, page layout, formulas, data, review, and view. That is what is common in most of the on almost all the Excel versions. But when you see my window, you would find that there is a draw tab here, and then there is a help tab. It is embedded in all the versions, but not all the versions have them displayed at the top, like how it is showing. So if you don't have it, it's not a problem, but the basic ones are available on all the versions. All right, so the ribbon is a collection of tabs. Now each tab has a group of related commands. Right, each tab has a group of related commands. So for example, when we take the home tab, so let me input some text here, say that when we take the home tab, for example, there are different groups of commands that appear on the home tab. All right, so we have the clipboard, which has the copy, cut, paste commands. We have the font that has bold, italics, underline. You want to change the font size, the font type, the font color, or the text color, the background color. You want to change to uppercase, lowercase. This is where you find those commands. Under alignment group, we have left align, right align, justify. You want to format your text to look a certain way in terms of alignment. This is where you get it. The merge and center function, you might want to merge several cells together. This is where you find the command. Now the wrap test, maybe a test is overflowing beyond a cell and you want to wrap it. Okay, so we'll get into more details on that in later videos. So number can be used to change or manipulate the types of text we allow our cells to receive, or the type of data we allow our cells to receive. Conditional formatting, this might be useful when we want to identify outliers in our data and many other interesting stuff. learn later. So at this point, we just want to understand that each tab has a group of commands that are related. All right. And this is what the home tab has to offer. In subsequent videos, we would have set of data and we use these commands to actually format the data to see how each and every one of the commands work. But for today, we want to familiarize ourselves with the Excel window. So when you go to the Insert tab, you want to insert something into your page. This is where we have all the insert commands that we can use on Excel. You want to adjust your page layout. Page layout has all the commands, group of commands that you can use for that. All right, so that is the ribbon. That is it for the ribbon. So let's talk about the quick access toolbar. Okay, the quick access toolbar is found above the ribbon. We have identified the ribbon to be this area. The quick access toolbar is found above the ribbon. Above the ribbon, the quick access toolbar has a handy spot for frequently used commands. So it houses frequently used commands like say the save. Yeah. While using these applications, we need to be saving our work frequently to avoid losing our work. The save command is often used, so it is found on the quick access toolbar mostly by default. But this quick access toolbar can be customized to a user's taste. So because save is there doesn't mean that save must always be there. You can actually change it. And how do you do that? You do that by simply clicking the drop-down arrow on the right of the toolbar, and then you have a drop-down menu, and then you select the option of commands that you want to appear there. So say I don't want save there, I'll take save out. And I want email there, I'll add email. You see, that is how it works, and you can manipulate it to your taste. All right, so let me take email out. I don't want it there. Okay. So now let's talk about so that is it for the quick access toolbar. Let's talk about the formula bar now. The formula bar is located below the ribbon. So this area, that is the formula bar. What does the formula bar do? This is where you can see and edit the content of a selected cell. So for example, if you have a formula in a cell, it will be displayed in the formula bar. So you have a formula in a cell, it will be displayed in the formula bar, making it easier to check and edit the formula without having to enter the cell itself. So let us click on a blank cell like this. Let us click on a blank cell. Okay, we have that. And then I will type equal to 2 plus 2. And then look at the formula bar. You'll see that the formula appears there, right? When I enter, my cell displays the computation of 2 plus 2, which is 4. But when I select the cell, the actual content of the cell is shown in the formula bar equal to 2 plus 2, which is not showing on the cell itself. Now we can make it show on the cell by clicking on it and it appears. But if we don't want to do that, we just want to know the content of the cell. We select the cell and then whatever is in the cell appears in the formula bar as is shown on your screen. So the formula bar helps us to check and edit formulas easily. All right. Okay, so far we have been mentioning the term cell, but we haven't really spoken about what a cell is. So now we'll get to that up front. But we cannot talk about Excel cells without mentioning columns and rows. Right. So the main part of the screen is your worksheet. This whole part is your worksheet. It is made up of columns, which are labeled with letters. So we have A, B, C, D, E, F, and so on. Those are the columns. And then rows labeled with numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. Where a column and a row intersect is a cell. Cells are where you enter data or formulas. Each cell has a unique name based on its column and row. For instance, let us click on cell B3. So B3, where can we locate cell B3? So we go to the column. We are saying that a cell is an intersection of the column and the row. Now, this is a column, this is a column, this, and then, so columns are vertical, rows are horizontal. So we look for column B, and it is here. Then we look for row 3 because we are looking for B3. So this point right here is B3, and that is the cell reference of that particular cell. So this cell is cell B3. So that is how cells are named in Excel. So that is it about rows, columns, and cells. So now let's talk about worksheet tabs. At the bottom of the worksheet are the worksheet tabs. So let's locate those. Okay, so we have it here. Those are the worksheet tabs. Now, what's the function of the worksheet tab? Each Excel file is called a workbook, right? And it can contain multiple worksheets. You can rename these tabs, move them around, and even add new ones. So for example, you might use separate sheets to store raw data on one tab and your calculations on another. So at this point, we are on sheet 1 and the name is sheet 1. We can actually add more sheets by clicking on the plus sign here. Right. Okay. And then a new sheet is created. You click, a new sheet is created. These sheet tabs can also be renamed. So say this is a sheet of students. You right click and select rename, then students, and it is named. So enter and then you have the name. So we want to repeat the same thing with sheet 3, but in case of sheet 3, we want to name it calculations. So we right click, we select rename, we type the new name and then we enter, and then you'll see that the sheet has been renamed. All right, so that is how you can open more sheets and rename them. But then we are saying that when these sheets come together, they come together to form a workbook. So simply a workbook is a collection of several worksheets. So you can liken it to a notebook. A notebook is a collection of several pages of papers, right? So those pages are the worksheets and those come together to form a notebook. All right, so that is it with the worksheet tabs. Now let's talk about the status bar. All right, status bar. So this is where you can locate the status bar in Excel. Good. This area here is the status bar in Excel. All right. And so that is the part that is at the very bottom in Excel. It shows useful information like the sum, average, or count of selected cells. So for example, let's say I input data into these cells here, and I'll name the cell student age. And then the first age is say 18, the next age 19, the third 20 to 21. I have this data, right? I have this data in my Excel. So then I highlight this data. The status bar will display useful information like the sum of the age. So let's look back at the status bar. You see sum, and then we have 78. So all the ages added together give us 78. And then how many data points do we have there? Right, we have 5, and then the average age is 19.5, right? So it gives us useful information. Now, these are calculations that we could get using formulas, right? Formulas which we'll talk about later. But just by highlighting, we can find the average, the count, and at least the sum on the status bar. Also, the status bar has a slider for zooming in and out the page, and that is it. So at its current position, the page is on 100%. We can zoom in for an up close observation, and then we can zoom out if we feel our eyes are very good, or we want to see more data on on one page or screen without having to scroll around. But most often, the 100 works fine for most people. All right. So that is it with the status bar. And so these are the parts of the Excel window, right? So let's have a quick recap of the parts. So we'll outline them. We have the quick access toolbar above the ribbon. We have the quick access toolbar above the ribbon. We have the ribbon. We have the ribbon. And then we are saying that the ribbon is a collection tabs. Now these are the tabs we have. Each of these tabs has a group of commands that are related. Then we have the formula bar. It displays formula or the formulas in a selected cell. Right, so this is the formula bar. Then we have the worksheet tabs. We can open more worksheets. We can delete existing worksheets. We can rename worksheets. And these worksheets come together to form a workbook. And a workbook is an Excel file. Then we have the status bar, which displays useful information when we select a range of data. We also learned how to name a cell. So this is a cell in Excel. And this cell right here, we can call it cell D5. Sorry, cell D5. And the reason is because the cell finds itself on row 5 and column D. Row 5 and column D. So the columns are vertical and the rows are horizontal. The columns are vertical, so the columns go this way. The columns go this way. they are vertical. My hands are not very straight. And then the rows are horizontal. So the rows go this way. So we have row 5, column D. So the cell reference is D5. So that will be it for today. That will be it for today. And I hope that this video will help you get started with your Excel learning journey. Alright. I hope this video will help you get started with your Excel learning journey. So this is a quick introduction to Excel for scientists and laboratory technologists. We covered the basics of the interface, right? Excel is a powerful tool, and once you get a hang of it, it will save you so much time and effort in the lab. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss future videos. Thanks for watching and see you in the next one. Bye-bye.